All right, 9:14, and despite inflation and expensive airfare, the summer travel season certainly heating up.
Yeah, joining us live this morning to talk all things travel is Gabe Saglie, senior editor for Travelzoo. Gabe, it's always so great to have you on the show.
Great to see you guys. Good morning.
Yeah, so let's talk about the demand that we're seeing right now. Just how busy is it, and how is that impacting the price tag of those tickets?
That's the biggest force at play now, is that demand. And listen, we've been talking, I think we were on the show talking about this back in January. We were anticipating sort of a month-to-month uptick in demand and therefore pricing. The fact is that demand sort of shattered our expectations. And now you've got a couple of other forces at play. So demand number one, but now jet fuel prices have started to sort of emerge as factors driving some of the pricing up. And there are some staff shortage issues that are eliminating certain routes, and some routes, therefore, prices are going up just a little bit. Spending on airfare went up about 11% in March, another 19% in April, and between now and the end of June, we're expecting another 10 to 12% further jump in airfare pricing. So there's no point in procrastinating. My fellow procrastinators out there, the time to really sort of lock down the airfare for the summer season, especially through the end of August, is right now.
Yeah, I mean, I know so many people right now, you're talking about some staffing shortages. Most people I know that have flown recently have had some sort of flight cancellation or delay, myself included, because not that there was a problem with the plane, but because there was no pilot for the plane.
And it's the pilot shortage issue that's really sort of emerged lately. I mean, it was flight attendants a couple of months ago. In the last month or so, we realized that there is a pilot shortage issue, and we're seeing a big drive to sort of kind of buffet that by sort of ramping up the demand for pilots. But yeah, that's not going to happen over the next couple of months. We're not going to fill that gap over the next few months. So that will remain a factor to contend with through the summer season for sure.
Yeah, so you might think, okay, well, you know what, I'm going to fly. Maybe I'll drive this Memorial Day. What kind of travel trends are you seeing there as gas prices skyrocket?
Yeah, listen, Memorial Day, obviously, historically a driving holiday. We're still going to see people hitting the roads. We're starting to see some hints now that people are changing or altering their plans just a little bit. So for driving vacations for Memorial Day, even looking ahead toward Labor Day weekend, instead of that 8 to 12-hour drive, maybe we're going to do a 3 to 5-hour drive as well to reconcile the fact that we're seeing pretty astronomical prices at the pump. And maybe instead of staying 7 nights at our destination, we're going to stay 4 or 5 nights. And that's just a way sort of to, again, reconcile these higher prices. For people doing the flying, I think we're starting to see now the return of a more dependable seasonality. So for those of you who are flexible and can kick off your summer vacation to September onward, that's where we're starting to see some glimmer of hope now. We're starting to see airfare demand drop as we get into that more dependable post-summer season. Kids back at school, as flexible as everything is now, kids going back to school in September is now beginning to show signs of affecting travel prices, airfare in particular, by bringing it down. And therefore, those of us who are flexible enough to kick our vacations down to September into October are dealing with certainly some more attractive pricing out there.
Well, speaking of flying, though, how are international fares compared to domestic flights?
Well, that's the thing, and especially as we look to between now and middle to late August, we are seeing some international routes that are very much sort of competitive against some of these domestic routes out of the sort of the main airports there in the New York City area. Say out to the West Coast, you can get pricing on tickets south of the border into the Caribbean and even into Europe at pretty much the same fares. So for sort of these last-minute planners looking at how far their dollars will go, some of these international fares are looking attractive. Probably the number one tip now is for folks to really start looking at their mileage accounts. You know, a lot of us have not been looking at how many miles we have over the course of the pandemic, but maybe we've still been spending on certain credit cards that have built up that account. Again, I've been saying miles have zero value unless you use them. Now might be the time to do this.
Well, and if you don't have that, right, if you don't have a credit card that gives you the mileage back because you're not big on travel, what are some of the other things that people can do to try and save money, right? Because there's that big, idea of when to book the trip because some days are cheaper than others.
Right. And as that graphic just showed, first of all, as far as flying, again, we're seeing a bit of a return to that more dependable pattern when it comes to things like Tuesdays and Saturdays being, in fact, the cheaper days to fly. That's still holding true. As far as when you're going to find the deals, it used to be that Tuesday was the magic day. Now we're really seeing them sort of fanned out across the week. But as far as when you fly on a Tuesday instead of a Monday. That could save you some big money, especially on domestic routes. And also look at vacation packages, because a lot of the packages in market right now were designed and put together with airfare before the spikes that we've seen in the last few weeks. So sometimes you're finding packages that include airfare and maybe a 4 or 5 night stay at a particular resort, just as much or even less than the airfare alone is costing today. So look at some of these vacation packages out there and do some comparative pricing that way.
Well, Gabe, we're running out of time, but quickly, do you have any summer destinations and deals to share with us?
So a couple of vacations I want to throw your way. You're going to find them on the Travelzoo website. We've just published them in the last couple of weeks. And this is especially for travel September onward. But the Bahamas, any destination in the Caribbean that's got a lot of competition on the ground, a lot of resorts to compete for your travel dollar are going to be offering some value. This is the Warwick Paradise Island. You go to TripAdvisor. This is the #2 best hotel on Paradise Island, after the Ocean Club, which is a very fancy Four Seasons resort. So a lot of value here. $6.99 gets you 3 nights, all inclusive for a couple. And that's sometimes all you need. That little 3-night escape, all inclusive. Yeah, and that's right. Again, from September to December, pricing a little bit higher if you go now, but still a great resort there, the Warwick Paradise Island. I looked at properties on Curacao. Curacao, one of those destinations that is south of the hurricane belt. So if you want to avoid the potential for storms over the next few months, a place like this, the Curacao Marriott Beach Resort. This is a 4-night package we've got on the Travelzoo website for $7.99. Gets you into a room that fits up to 4 people. So a little family getaway, you get a $200 dining credit for the duration of that stay. And finally, I looked over at Greece. You know, Greece, one of the top 5 European destinations for Americans this summer. Brand new property here. This is the Destino Pacha Mykonos on the island of Mykonos. Rates from about $175 a night. Again, if you wait until September to go. And this is a 5-star adults-only resort right there on the Aegean Sea. Looks pretty good to me.
Wow. Adults only. All right.
Yeah, sometimes you need that, guy. Sometimes you just need just another grown-up to talk to.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's time to unwind. Gabe Saglie, we love having you always. Good to see you
guys,
as always.
Great to see you, my friends.
Man who does not age. You never age. Look, every
He
time.
doesn't.
It's the lighting.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Thank you, Gabe.